human connection is the best cure to mental health, and I felt like over the whole experience my mental well-being was taking a battering. I was so mentally exhausted, but by just getting a smile from a stranger really meant a lot to me. It might just be a boost for 10 minutes, but that 10 minutes helped out a lot. Any ego that I was taking into this has been squarely kicked in the ass right out of me. Any whatsoever. I'm already like, what are you fucking doing, Cameron? What are you doing? Yeah. I found a spot just off outside of Glasgow Central and sat there. And I put my cup out, and the first people to walk up to me were actually other 3 homeless guys who were clearly very, very drunk and possibly on drugs. And one of them sort of came over and sort of tried to sort of jump on me and, oh, it's a homeless guy, and sort of taking the piss. And when I kind of stood up for myself, he pretended to pull his pants down and try and piss on me. And when I kind of stood up for myself and pushed him away, all 3 of them instantly sort of changed and apologized, and they actually ended up giving me some of their change, and kind of like, sorry man, we're all in this together, we gotta look out for each other. And then shortly a while later, I had Simon Community come up to me, 2 people that are a street team helping homeless. Said they could help me get me temporary accommodation or a new place to live. Kind of just wanted to know some of my background, and I'd obviously just played along that, it's my first night, I've been kicked out of where I live. And I just kind of said to him, look, yeah, I think I'll try and find one of my friends to help me out. But yeah, it's fucking tough. It's fucking tough, but it's daunting sitting there, having people walk past and, yeah, it's... So I can understand why people wouldn't agree with me mimicking the harsh reality of homelessness. That's why I put myself in their shoes, because I wanted to see what it was like living the life of a homeless person. We walk past homeless people all the time, and I don't feel like we really kind of understand their situation. So when I first moved from Australia, I was quite shocked instantly coming into London how many homeless people there really was. Over the last 6 years, I travelled all the way through UK and in many different cities, and it doesn't change. There's so many homeless people on the streets, and that was such a big moment for me, realising how many homeless people there really was. I've actually found this place, the old Scottish ambulance service. It's an old rundown building just outside the city, and I've got like these brick walls around me, and protection, and I feel quite secure here that I won't run into any kind of trouble, which I potentially would in the city centre. But I really do feel like I've hit the homeless jackpot. I was looking for a box or cardboard box or something to to sleep on, and I found this bin which is literally just across the road, and there was some carpet in there, and I thought, perfect, I'll put that down, that will keep me, cold off the concrete. And there was this box, and I thought, I'll use that cardboard. And when I opened the box, it was not one, not two, but 3 cushions. And that is, I was literally jumping for joy because I was on such a fucking dampener of a mood before that. Absolutely over the moon. I don't want to leave them here when I move tomorrow, like however long I'm out here for. The homeless jackpot. And I managed to get enough money to buy an Aberdeenshire roll. Never seen them before, but it kind of looks like a potato scone's ugly stepsister. So it was 35p, and it worked perfectly. So I'm gonna have that, and then get my sleeping bag out and try and get some sleep. So while I was out on the experience, I never got my camera out in front of other homeless people. I always wanted them to take me as another homeless person, and I didn't want their view of me to be skewed. And they fully took me in. They didn't have a lot to give, but they gave the most. Whether even just advice or even offering change, they met me and knew I was new to the streets. And we have a skewed view of most homeless people. We instantly stereotype them to being bad people or alcoholics. And it's not always the case. In my experience, I found that there was people from all sorts of different backgrounds just kind of falling on hard times. So I'm just going to check. Coming up to the point I slept last night and left my pillows. Just going to check they're still here. Hoping so. We stink. We'll go with that. It stopped raining now as well, which is good. As long as it stops raining and it's not windy, I can handle it. Good. So I found that most people's perception of me was to completely ignore me. When I sat on the streets, most people just walked straight past me or moved to the other side of the pavement and avoided me. But it was the people that offered a smile or just some encouragement. There were people that walked past and had no intention of giving me change, but just shouted out, "Hey mate," and just gave me a smile, and it made such a big difference to my own mental well-being. So today I went back to the same spot that I was begging at yesterday, and while sitting there, I had a guy come up to me who actually came up to me yesterday and gave me some change. Just by his appearance, I could kind of tell that, he wasn't homeless, but he quite possibly was homeless in the past. Probably quite bad addiction, just from his appearance. But yeah, he came up to me again today, and he was looking, like he was dressed well and stuff like that. He says, "You're right, mate." Yeah. I says, "I remember you." And he goes, "Yeah. My name's Gary, and I used to be homeless as well. I live in temporary accommodation now." We were chatting about that, and then about him. And he sat down next to me, and he's like, "We're all in this together, man, and I'm here to help you." I've had addiction to heroin and cocaine like all my life. I'm off it now, but still on bits and pieces like Valium and stuff like that. And he was like, "If I had change, man, if I had goldies, I'd give them to you." And I was like, "Nah, man, like if you need them, you keep hold of them." He's like, "Nah, like I'm better off now, but I've got to help out everyone else that's on the streets. I've been there, I know what it's like." He was telling me about, he's got three kids, 3 boys, and his oldest is 17, and he wants to get his own house so that he can have them move in with him. He's got these goals, and he's battling his addictions, yet he's still willing to stop on the side of the street and have a chat and offer coins which he quite possibly needs more. And he was telling me all the good spots to go for soup kitchens, and where to get a roll of sausage and a cup of tea and stuff like that. And he was like, "If you're here tomorrow, I get paid tonight, and I'll come back and I'll give you some goldies." He offered me some cigarettes, and he even offered me Valium as well. He's got nothing. It doesn't look like he's got much to give, but he's willing to give it all to help out someone who's been in a similar position. So yeah, his words he used, the same guys from yesterday. We're all in this together. It's like this kind of unity between homeless people, which is amazing. Especially with the street teams from the charities doing their job as well. Everyone is helping each other the best they can, which is great. It really is. When I first started it, I didn't know whether to turn left or right. I didn't know where to go, what to do. So while I was sitting out on the streets, 2 of my friends walked straight by me and didn't even know. And that's how much attention we bring to homeless people. We walk straight past these people who are struggling or in a dark place, and we walk by them. Majority of the experience when I came across other homeless people, there was like a unity amongst the homeless people. They were willing to help out and stop and just have a chat to me and offer their change. And these people were just, they didn't have much themselves, but they were willing to give so much and just offer, advice of where the temporary locations to sleep were, or even the soup kitchens. The soup kitchens made a big difference. Like on the days that the soup kitchens were open, I had something to look forward to. There was almost a part of me that felt like, "Oh, I'm going out tonight." We obviously all want to help the homeless, and we can do that by volunteering or donating to these charities. But I think if we really want to make a difference to a homeless person's life, we need to treat them like a human being, talk to them, acknowledge them. Human connection is the best cure to mental health. And I think we can take a leaf out of the homeless book and create a little bit of unity amongst us and our society, including the homeless. There's strength in that unity that they have. And I think that is where the real change will come from.